Namaste. Sutra 1.14. Sa tu dirghakala nairantarya satkara asevito drid bhumi. Let's understand. It becomes firmly grounded by being continued for a long time with reverence, without interruption. What? Abhyasa. Here Maharshi Patanjali speaks of the foundation of Abhyas. He has spoken about 3 conditions for the practice of Abhyas. In the previous sutra, we understood about Abhyas, how one must practice. Abhyas means constant practice, and how practice brings anybody into an established state. Continued practice, how does it firmly establish a person? In this sutra, he speaks about the conditions for the practice of Abhyas. He says it should be practiced with complete faith. It should continue uninterrupted, and it should go on for a long time. When these 3 conditions are fulfilled, Abhyas becomes firmly established and a part of one's nature. It is often observed that many sadhaks, aspirants are very enthusiastic in the beginning. They are very good with their practices, but faith slowly fades away. Slowly the practice fades away. Here he says, Satu dirgha kala. Dirgha means long, kala. Satu that. Saha means that. That is what? Abhyasa. But that abhyas has to go on for dirgha kala, the longest time. Nairantarya, without interruption. Satkara, with reverence. Sat means always. Sat always means purity. With reverence. Asevitaha, practiced. Drid bhumi, firm ground. A spiritual aspirant, all of you, must continue his or her sadhana till he or she is able to achieve or receive something very concrete, very substantial. Nairantarya here is very important. It has a word known as antara. Antara means difference. Nairantarya means absence of this difference. It means continuity. Practices are interrupted, then one does not benefit completely. Spiritual maturity is not attained. When a sadhak attains spiritual maturity, when he or she begins the practice, they must continue for a long time. It may take many lifetimes, probably. What is important is how long. One has to continue without interruption for the longest period. Take the sadhana to the best, highest extent possible. If you notice, when you don't reach home on time, when as a child, if you never reached home back on time, mother would get worried, disturbed. There was restlessness. Here, if you are unable to do your practices or unable to complete your sadhana or your daily practices, you should have it at the back of your mind. Your continued practice and your dirghakala practice for the longest period will reap you results. There should be no compulsion. It has to be done willingly as well. This is the meaning of satkar, reverence. Inner It has to be done from within. If you're fond of reading, you're supposed to be doing reading from within. If you're fond of any practices, nobody is forcing you. It has to be done with your own will, with your passion towards it should be so strong. With devotion. Maharshi declares that if we practice abhyasa with faith, conviction, continuously for the longest period, it will definitely bring about a blockage of the vrittis of the mind. Namaste.